Hey, welcome to the first debate, first live stream with Diverse Nerd Project. I have a guest, Tyson. You want to introduce yourself, pronouns and whatnot?
I'm Tyson.
All right, good enough. All right, my name is Harmony. Pronouns she, her. I will accept they for this. We're going to be discussing the Black community, which we are both a part of today. So, I wanted to start off this live stream with a clip. I'm gonna share it real quick, and then we can discuss it.
Let's say they listen to the cops and get in the car. Look what happened to Freddie Gray.
Yeah, and what if they make it all the way to the station?
Mm-hmm.
You remember Sandra Bland?
And let's say they do make it to trial. Mm-hmm. You see where that gets us? Don't you get it, Bo? The system is rigged against us.
Maybe it is, Dre. But I don't want to feel like my kids are living in a world that is so flawed that they can't have any hope.
Oh, so you want to talk about hope, Bo? Obama ran on hope. Remember when he got elected? And we felt like maybe, just maybe, we got out of that bad place and made it to a good place. That the whole country was really ready to turn the corner. You remember that amazing feeling we had during the inauguration? I was sitting right next to you. And we were so proud. And we saw him get out of that limo and walk alongside of it and wave to that crowd. Tell me you weren't terrified when you saw that. Tell me you weren't worried that someone was going to snatch that hope away from us like they always do. That is the real world, Bo. And our children need to know that that's the world that they live in. Let's finish one.
Okay.
Okay. So, how do you feel about that? That was a clip from the show Blackish.
Well, they made some good points. They made some good points in it, you know.
Yeah, I know we were both parents and everything and stuff, and we want the best for our kids and everything and stuff. So, but yeah, I thought that was a good way to get started with, and we'll start off the debate, or I like to say conversation, with racism.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Okay, racism.
Yeah.
Well, I think, we live in America. We are the minority race. So, I mean, there's things that come with being a minority. We're not the majority. So the system isn't designed for us, But I think the bigger question is,
I agree.
Should the system be designed for us? It's not our system, so why would it be designed for us?
We are Americans, though. I mean, we are supposed to be a melting pot. We're all supposed to be equal and stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, but how can you
that's
be
the
equal?
American dream? At least that's what they told us, right?
Yeah, but how can you be equal when you're the minority? You and I lost equality right there because you got called the minority.
But I mean, we should be equal still, even though we're the minority. I'm part of multiple minority groups and stuff, but I still want the same, dignity, respect, and equality as everyone else and stuff.
I mean, as far as racism in America, I mean, it's not as bad as it was. Can it get better? Yeah, it can get better, but my thing would be is like, my thing is when you living in another man's kingdom, how could you expect to be equal in another man's kingdom? Because you know how I feel about that. It's like you are the minority. You can't come into another man's house and rule over another man's house and tell him what time his kid's gonna go to bed and what you're gonna have for dinner and what you're gonna set the thermostat at. You in another man's house.
I mean, you make some good points there and stuff, but I don't think the people are, the people are less racist now. We all have our implicit biases and stuff like that, but people are less
Yeah.
racist. I mean, Black Lives Matter showed that, there was like a whole bunch of like all different types of people came together with Black Lives Matter and stuff. Like I said, it seemed like majority white people, honestly, and stuff, but there was queer people fighting for black people and stuff. There was a whole bunch of people there that, was out there marching and stuff like that and everything. Actually, one young lady lost her life from Michigan here and stuff. So it's like in Charlottesville, I think it was, where the guy drove that car into him and stuff. But the bigger issue is the systematic racism or systemic racism. That's what's really holding us back, and that's what I'd like to talk about. How do you feel about that?
When you say systemic racism, I mean,
Yeah.
What do you mean by system? Like what system?
It was just all the systems that were put in, that's put in place to keep us down and stuff keep us down. It's just, it's stuff that is not maybe implicit, but like I said, it's stuff, it's systems. There's tons of systems. Like when it comes to employment, healthcare, just like tons of stuff like that. And, like, let me see here. Like I say for like the, work for jobs and stuff like that. Did you know that 70% of jobs aren't even listed publicly and stuff? They're usually given to, people get them from like family and stuff. And, they have hired their grandson or, uncle or something like that. So we don't even get a chance to even access those jobs and stuff like that.
But if you create the job, you have a right to do that. If I had a choice between hiring a qualified white person and maybe a less qualified nephew, I'm gonna hire my nephew. I wouldn't see that as being racist toward the white person, but
Well, no, I'm not saying they're racist. It's just the systems. Like we haven't had a chance to build. Like we don't have businesses at the same level as everybody else does. You know what I mean? Because we haven't had the chance to build that and stuff like that. So, we can't hire nephews and and our children and stuff like that.
Yeah, we haven't
had the opportunity to though over the years and stuff like that because of all the systematic racism that's been.
We definitely. If you compare black people versus white people, we're definitely behind.
Yeah, and that's because of all the stuff that happened, all the stuff that we've been through. Jim Crow, slavery, and stuff like that. It was like a whole health disparities, a whole bunch of stuff. They were, testing vaccines. Well, I didn't get into too much vaccine talk, but
testing shots on us.
They were doing a lot of like experimentation on us and stuff.
Yeah,
and that all that stuff has set us back. We're starting. I think it's like, I don't know if it was Lyndon B. Johnson or something had a great speech. When I upload, when I re-upload this, I'll put some links to these videos and stuff in the underneath. But like he had a great speech where he said that how can you expect us to be at the same level when we started so far back? You know what I mean? We started so far. We didn't get a chance to build wealth on the level that everybody else did. So we are way behind. So especially in today's, like, because I believe that we're living in end stage capitalism, honestly. So it's hard to build right now. It's even harder. And then we haven't had all that generational wealth. We haven't had the home ownership because they said one of the biggest things in America is home ownership and stuff. That's how most of the wealth is, generational wealth.
But through generations, we used to have home ownership at a way higher rate than we do now. We sold grandma's house. Grandma died. We sold the house and went and bought a Cadillac. That's what we did. And of course, we're behind because we didn't get a fair head start. But
yeah, we didn't get the fair head start. That's the main reason I'm talking about. We can't,
But it's people who come across the ocean all the time, and they get right on in, and a lot of them look just like us. When they come over here, they don't mess with us.
Yeah, no, but they're usually pretty wealthy. I would say. Like they already have wealth when they're coming over here and stuff. Because to be able to leave a horrible situation over there, not everybody over there can leave that horrible situation. They already have generational, like family wealth and stuff like that to even be able to travel to here because most people can't travel over here. You may have outliers and stuff like that, but
I mean, even people coming from down south, from southern of the border. South of the border, they come in here and they make an establishment. There seems to be like the unity thing. We're not as unified as other cultures, other people. And that's one of the things that's hurt us. Like I said, we sold grandma house. We didn't establish community. I feel like black people.
Oh yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but
I feel like black people, we the most talented people there is on the earth. We the most good looking people that is on the earth, So I think we have everything it would take to build, but we just don't have the attitude to build. It's always gonna be hurdles.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is hard to work together and stuff. That's that's one thing my dad always told me and stuff like that. We're like crabs in a bucket or something. Once somebody tries to succeed, one pulls the other one down and stuff like that, and everything. But
no, but that comes from slavery.
Slavery.
I mean, slavery had a big part of it.
Well, we have trauma. A lot of trauma, generational trauma.
We have a lot of racial trauma.
Yeah,
we have a lot of. We need counseling. We need counseling.
I think everybody needs counseling. Honestly,
yeah.
You know what I mean. Everybody, no matter race or gender or what, the counseling will do, people well and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I still say it's not our fault that we're in the situation that we're in and stuff, with all the Lord, with everything really, because we don't seem to be leading anything, anything good, that is, but it's not because we haven't tried, you know what I mean? Like, black people are some of the hardest working people, there is, you know what I mean?
I mean, to a certain,
but it's all the systems that keep us down.
I would say to a certain extent, like we got off of the bad foot with slavery, Jim Crow, black laws and whatnot, civil rights. We got off to a bad start, but the opportunity we have had, we should be way more established than we are today. I mean, there's no reason why we can't have black banks, black hospitals, real black institutions, like real black colleges, I mean, but who else would I black?
When you're dealing with like all the health disparities and like the low income and, and not having the generational wealth to start these institutions and stuff like that, you can't, we don't have hardly anything, and I know you can't expect people to give you stuff, but I mean, how do you expect us to start this stuff? Like I know Dr. Umar has been trying to build that school for, what is it, like the last 20 years or something? Still hasn't built that school.
Yeah, but the brother King Randall, he got a school going and it's doing good for those young men. So
that's good.
So it can be done. I mean, maybe they need to talk about what happened, how he was able to get his school off and going.
Some of that stuff's like an anomaly though, like Ben Carson or something like that, or like the person you mentioned and stuff like that. That's not the everyday thing, everyday black person. When we talk about black people, we talk about black people as a whole and stuff like that. We take the average, and the average black person is not doing that well. They're not out here building schools and doing all this stuff.
Well, that would be the average of anybody, though. The average white person ain't out here building school.
But when you put their average against our average is a lot less.
It's a lot less, yeah.
On every metric, really,
Yeah, that's true. But there's also have to be a self accountability, because we live in a time where we came way far than where we've been. Even when we was under Jim Crow, we seemed to be able to build cities. We was able to build wealth. Why you think the racist white folks?
Every time we build it, it gets taken away from us, though. Like you're talking about like Black Wall Street and stuff like that. It got burnt down and stuff like that.
Yeah, it got burned down, but even after it got burned down, they came back and rebuilt it again.
But not as strong as it was before.
So it could be integrated. We integrated. That was the problem right there.
Integration was the problem.
Integration played a huge part in Black people not actually being where we need to be. You know, what was the proposal? Separate but equal.
Yeah.
We fought for integration when we should have been fighting for equality. You know, when it came to federal money or even state money, we should have been fighting for equality, not to be integrated. Because once you go and integrate it, you went into another man's system. You went fully into his system. Now you got to appease him because it's his system. You know, and even now, no, I think we have a problem with accepting the reality of being a minority. You know, we have a problem with, I mean, you are the minority. Like I said, you are the minority, so you can't expect to even play on the same level of the majority. You know, so it's like you already know. I think that Black people, we need our own kingdom. You know, we need our own state. You know.
Well, I probably figured you'd say that and stuff like that, but even like in traditionally Black kingdoms, like over in parts of Africa and stuff, they're not doing that well either and stuff. Like actually Black people across the globe are not doing well and stuff like that. You can look at the hold on here. Oh, there we go. I printed out some stuff here. See, yeah. Can you see that? That's backwards, but you see the United States there and
That's
stuff like that.
me.
This is the wealth across the world and stuff like that.
Now put it back up. Put it back up. Put it back up. I want to see
that. You see, I think it's backwards, but you know, but the United States is right there and stuff like that, and that's like the biggest one. But you see, there's China and Japan and all that, and
United Kingdom,
and the
Spain,
African nations are right here, the little dark colored ones right there and stuff out of the world and stuff like that. So, I mean,
that was due to colonization. That was due to colonization, and a lot of corruption is in those Black kingdoms as well. There's a lot of corruption when you have dictators. You know, you have socialism, you have communism in a lot of those countries. You know, where you have a few at the top who are hoarding the wealth from the common people. So once again, that goes back to self-accountability.
Well, how do you know that if we started our own separate nation, that we won't have the same thing happen and stuff like that?
You don't know. You don't know. That's why you have to give it a shot, because you don't know. Because if you're not satisfied where we at right now, I mean, you got to do something, and you can't beg white folks to save you. You know.
Well, I'm not begging, you know, white people to save us, but I'm just saying, I think integration was a good thing and stuff like that, because I don't know about the separate but equal thing. That just doesn't, you know, I mean, we'd probably be worse off. You know, well, I don't know. I hate to say that for people, but you never know. You don't know what would have happened.
I don't think we're worse off.
This world is too divisive as it is. You know what I mean? Why are we trying to separate from people and stuff? We shouldn't be trying to separate, but try to build. You know, and it's hard to separate, because how are you going to separate? Because even Black people are very diverse. Not every Black person is going to want to do this and stuff. And you know, there's Black people that are in the military that have different views on things. There's LGBT Black people that have different views on stuff. There's the religious, you know, well, most Black people are religious, but I mean, there's like religion. There's so many different things. How are we expect to get along and, you know, and everything?
Well, see, that's one of the things. Blackness have to be the meeting point. Everything else has to become secondary, or even
you can't do that though. You can't separate.
You have to
separate like parts of you out. You know, like you can't. There's intersectionality. You know what I mean? Where it comes to women, LGBT, all that stuff. You're Black and you're a woman. You're Black and you're a man and stuff like that. And they both, you know, carry
But if the cause is to put black people in a better place, then all that has to come secondary. Because I guarantee you, if the Martians came out the sky, we'll forget about black, white, Christian, Muslim, rich, poor. We'll forget about everything because that one cause supersedes the rest of it. So when it comes to talking to a black kingdom or a black independent or freedom, then that has to supersede everything.
So by Martian, do you mean
the details out later?
So by Martian, do you mean the Donald Trump administration that's upcoming? Is that who all we have to work together to fight against?
Talking about the drones that was in the sky.
Yeah, the drones. Well, Biden said those were nothing to worry about. Honestly, he said.
They said nothing to worry about. That's when I start worrying.
And stuff. But this upcoming Trump administration seems to threaten all of our quality of life. Honestly, black, woman, everybody really, immigrant, you name it.
I don't see it like that. I hope it leads to more opportunity, because like I said, I mean, because
opportunity for who? Because he's trying to get rid of DEI and everything.
Well, DEI is not for black people.
It is for black people.
That's
diversity, equity, and
that's for liberal white people. That's not.
What?
That's not for black people. We already had affirmative action.
A lot of black people have benefited from DEI, in the corporate level and stuff like that. It demands like a certain percentage of black, people.
Well. DEI has mostly benefited DEI trainers. Mm-hmm. They created an office for DEI, and that's who got the corporate job. It didn't help you and me out. It helped people who was incorporated, who got the actual office of DEI. So now that DEI is going away in a lot of places, that's the only thing that's really changing, is there's no office with the label on that says DEI.
Well, do you think minorities will be able to get hired into places once DEI is removed, once he takes DEI away?
We've got hired in places before DEI.
But I know, but I'm not talking about like McDonald's or
No, we got hired in places before
DEI. Like that. I'm talking about like higher up positions.
The DEI stuff is fairly new. Uh-huh. That really just came and went. Uh-huh. That came and went fast. That was like a COVID thing. That came. DEI. That's just a few years old. That hasn't been around since like civil rights and all that stuff. That's something that's.
But it was needed though. Do you understand? It was needed though.
Needed, like, how did it really benefit? How did it really benefit us?
Well, it got more black people into jobs because it required, higher up positions, because it required like a certain percentage. I can't think of the percentage, but like certain, it requires a certain amount of certain people, like a certain amount of women, certain amount of black people, and so far and stuff like that.
I think DEI benefited women and queer people more than it benefited black people.
How so?
I don't think black people was the target of DEI. Because like I said, the only people who got jobs was the DEI office, who was particularly usually black women. That's who helped the DEI training. And they would go out to different companies if you didn't have one in-house. That's what DEI really was. Like I said, that was for queer white people who wanted to be visible. That's what it was about. I don't think it was really about black people. I don't think it changed our situation, or is it going?
I don't have the statistics, but it did help black people a lot and stuff. And
I'm
better prepared next time.
We can agree. I'm pretty sure it helped.
Actually, there's a great video on it by Roland Martin that people could check out. I can kind of link that in the background.
Say less.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I think Roland's pretty good for us. It's a good show.
Yeah, right. Roland getting paid. Ask Roland what he did with that $300,000 he got from Kamala.
No, we don't talk about that now. Come on, and stuff. But do you think this? I'm going to switch it up a little bit here. Do you think this upcoming Trump administration will benefit black people and other minorities in this country?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it would benefit everybody, really.
You do?
And we are a part of that everybody. Cost of living is way too high. If he can do something to get that down, if he can't get it down, at least figure out a way to put money back in our pockets through tax cuts or something like that. That'll benefit everybody. But I don't see it particularly hurting black people that Trump is back in office. I mean, it didn't hurt us last time. I mean, it was a lot of bad press. And if you fell for the bad press, then yeah, it might hurt your feelings, but it didn't overall hurt us.
No, he has a lot of, I have a whole list of stuff here that, I mean, just pages and pages of all the crazy stuff he's done over the years that he's been in there.
Like what? Break it down.
You want me to go through you want me to start from like the beginning, or?
I mean,
okay,
you
let's
pick,
see
I mean,
okay, let's see. 1973, Donald Trump and his actually these are actually from GLAAD. These statistics are from, but in 1973, Donald Trump and his father, Fred Trump, fought discrimination lawsuits brought by the Justice Department. Their alleged refusal to rent apartments to predominantly white buildings to black tenants. A statement that ended the lawsuit did not require the Trumps to acknowledge the discrimination that had occurred explicitly, but the government's description of the settlement said Trump and his father had failed in the neglect to comply with the Fair Housing Act. That was 1973. In 1989, Trump called for the reinstatement of the death penalty in a full-page ad in a New York newspaper because of the Central Park Five, who were wrongly convicted. Let's see here.
Yeah, but Donald Trump is also the white man who bought the golf course, the golf resorts, and then allowed black people to go, right? To gain membership. I mean, Donald Trump is really the only rich white man that ever really messed with the black community. I mean, from working with Jesse Jackson on minority businesses, particularly real land development and real estate, you know.
Oh.
From everything from, you know,
loaning. That was probably like this business stuff, you know, like if it's going to benefit him and make money and stuff like that, he'll be a part of it. But let me continue. I mean, 1991 is a really good one right here.
If you rent, I mean, if he'd have rented to the black people, he'd have made money there too. You know, now I'm not saying that those things didn't happen, but I'm not going to discount all the things that he has helped black people with. You know, he funded Jesse Jackson. I mean, part of, you know, he not all the way funded, but, you know, he gave money to Jesse Jackson when Jesse Jackson was trying to become the first black president. You know, Donald Trump has hired a lot of black people, you know. Donald Trump has did a lot to help.
On a small scale, though. I don't think it's going to really benefit black people. And I fail to see what he's going to do for black people,
but let
alone black queer people, you know, which are also part of the black community. But let me just read one more statistic from you here. This is from the 1991, a book by John O'Donnell. Hopefully I said that last name right. Former president of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, quoted Trump's criticism of black accountants. Black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys. Oh, looks like an explicive for Jewish people here. I think that guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. I believe that. It's not anything they can control. Trump later said in a 1997 Playboy interview that the stuff O'Donnell wrote about me was probably true.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. and that really don't have nothing to do with the presidency. As being the commander in chief of the country, because really what he said about the person counting his money, that's how everybody feel. because they count money the best, right?
No,
they count money the best.
You know, I don't believe that. You know, there's
yeah. I mean, it's proven they count money the best. We gonna get into it. We gonna get flagged, so we gonna get into it.
Well, yeah, I don't want to. You know.
But yeah, proposal of the platinum plan. I mean, if we
could let's talk about the platinum plan.
If we could pull something off like that, then
because he had to do that because of the inequalities in the in the black community. That's why he had to put the well. He didn't want to do the platinum thing. That was actually probably drawn up by Democrats or something, I believe. And I think he refused to sign it actually. But
no, that was
the good thing that he did sign it, because that does address the inequalities in the black community.
I don't think that was drawn up by the platinum plan. I think by the Democrats. I think the Democrats
I heard somewhere he was refusing to sign it. I would have to get more data.
The Democrats actually are the ones who rejected it because they're playing politics with the people. When Donald Trump's first presidency, you had Democrat lawmakers who actually said that they had policies that would benefit American people in general. But they didn't want to put it on Donald Trump's desk because they didn't want his name on it, because they knew he would sign it, and they didn't want his name on it as a historical thing. I mean, Donald Trump signed executive orders doing with women's death during childbirth, which largely affect black women. He signed an executive order for that, but nobody looked into it or really piggybacked on it because they didn't want Donald Trump's name involved with something that would help black people. I mean, when you're trying to convince somebody that somebody else is a racist white supremacist, you're not going.
With the evidence I presented, it almost looks like he is. But I mean, if you got,
I mean, that was years ago. I mean, if we
this goes on to I think it goes all the way up to 2017, honestly here, but it's probably could even go further than that, but they ran out of printer paper. But yeah, he has
No, what I'm saying is anything that Donald Trump has did and said in the past, he wasn't the president. I mean, this is the same.
Okay, well, we could go to when he was the president.
This is the same man now who's accepted awards alongside of Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks, right? This is the same man who pulled up on Shade 45 in the studio with G Unit calling 50 Cent on the phone, right?
But yeah, this is the same man here. Let's see here, 2016. Trying to play up his support among African Americans, he pointed to a black supporter in the crowd and said, "Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him."
I don't think that's anything significant. We do it all the time. Look at my nigga. We do it all the time. That's not significant. That's propaganda, Well,
no, these are like facts. He said that. You could go back and look at the video. All the stuff that he said is on videos and stuff.
What's the significance? I mean, I'm not really interested in trying to.
What?
I'm not really interested in trying to debate or defend whether or not an old white man is racist or not. That's not beneficial to me.
Doesn't that concern you though? If he's gonna be the most powerful man in the country come tomorrow. I mean, or actually in the world, he's gonna be the most powerful man. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if he can create law and legislation that could benefit me and mine, I don't care what he do in his own private life or how he feel about me. That hasn't. His job is to quarterback the team, and if he can lead us down the field and put that ball in the end zone, let's go. That's all that matters. I'm not going to take it personal. But I mean, us as black people, or as
us as Americans.
As Americans,
and black people are Americans.
But
as long as he don't do nothing that would stop me or stop.
I mean, there's like Project 2025 and stuff. I think there's a whole bunch of like anti-black stuff in the Project 2025.
What Project 2025 isn't his deal. They've been writing Project 2025 since the 80s. They has updated every once in a while. He disavowed Project 2025 to say 25 the same way
he put people in place that are like the main people from Project 2025. He put them in place in positions of leadership in his cabinet and stuff like that. I mean, his vice president that he picked, I think wrote the forward for the Project 2025, or has like a huge,
We have a lot of people in that space, in the conservative space, but there's no intention to push any of the wild. I mean, he said himself, there's some stuff in the Project 2025 he liked. There's some stuff in there he thinks is ridiculous. And I'm probably pretty sure the same stuff that he thinks is ridiculous is probably some of the stuff that we all think is ridiculous. So I wasn't trying to pin Project 20.
His name is mentioned like 300 times throughout it, over 300 times throughout it.
I mean, people talk about people all the time. You know,
but these are policies though that are going to affect us going forward.
He's the leading candidate. He's the leading candidate. Well, he was the leading candidate. Now is the president-elect. You know, I'm not going to tie him to anything in Project 2025 unless he says so. I'm not going to worry about what his opponents say, because then you start going into propaganda.
It's not his opponents. It's in the actual Project 2025. His name is mentioned over 300 times. You know?
No, what I'm saying, no.
People.
What I'm saying is, if he didn't ask his name to be put in there, you know, what I'm saying is,
well, we all know he probably had something going in the back end anyway about it and stuff. I mean, like all the people that are
well, that's speculation. All I'm saying is this: when Donald Trump was president last time, what I'm saying is this: when Donald Trump was president last time, he didn't hurt me. That's what I'm saying.
But how about your fellow like people in community and stuff? Your fellow black.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't you care about them?
That's what I'm talking. He didn't hurt black people. Black people was booming.
Booming.
Yeah.
On the average, black people were booming.
Poverty rate was low. Unemployment rate was low. Income was higher. Yeah, we were booming. You know, I'm not into the boogeyman about Donald Trump. It's becoming the boogeyman. And I'm not into the Donald Trump, the boogeyman. I'm good with that. You know, there's no need for me to sit back and try to defend whether or not an old white man is racist. When he start putting in some racist policies, then we'll talk.
Well, he's putting in a lot of policies. He's going to be putting racist policies, sexist policies, anti-LGBT policies and stuff. And, you know, that affects the black community and stuff. Okay, so and actually will get the hit the hardest because we already have, you know.
So what policy did he in the act last time that hurt black people?
Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of the stuff with George Floyd protests and stuff like that.
What policy?
Trump. Well, I don't want to say it was policies, but.
Well, if it wasn't policy, it don't affect me.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
A lot of fake news propaganda.
You want fake news propaganda?
A lot of propaganda.
I got so much paperwork here that I'm like, no, it was a ton of stuff, and like there'll be more. Don't worry, there'll be more when he gets in there and stuff because he is.
But that's speculation.
Well, it's not speculation. You can look at his past and stuff.
And I think a lot of that speculation is due to propaganda. You know, coming from the other side. I mean, out of wisdom, I'm not going to listen to what another man's opponent say about him. You know, the Hatfields can't tell me nothing about the McCoys, you know, just because they're not qualified. You know, they don't have the credibility to tell me so because of an ingrained bias. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, you could see it. Like the man says all this stuff on TV. You know, he's like, I know people like that about him and stuff, but
Donald Trump talks shit.
He's always talking shit.
Donald Trump talks shit. Yeah, that's what a lot of people like about him. You know, he talking to the TV like it's just you and me. You know, a lot of people respect that. You know, like I said, a lot of people have brought into the mainstream propaganda, and some people haven't. And that right there really the difference. You know, and with black people, like I said, black people having our racial trauma, it's easy. It's easy to manipulate us. It's easy to manipulate us with racial things because of that racial trauma. But I don't think Donald Trump gonna be no worse than Joe Biden. I don't think nobody gonna be worse than Joe Biden. Nobody go out and do that, man.
Took me a second to look it up. You know, the internet isn't that good over here. Okay, you ready for the policies that he did? There's like over 50 of them here and stuff.
Get them here.
Okay, let me see. Voting rights. Let me see. The Trump administration, let me see. But under the right to vote is the most fundamental right of democracy in the United States, but under the Trump administration, countless Americans of color are facing increased barriers to vote to the voting booth. In 2017, Trump established a taxpayer-funded commission led by Kansas Secretary of State Chris and Vice President Mike Pence, opponents of strict voter ID requirements. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have strict voter ID requirements. Yeah, that's not racist.
guess
That's not racist. You should have strict voter ID requirements.
Right.
Especially when you got people, especially when you got ballots coming in from all over the place. I go talk to like I'll get a splash.
Yeah. Okay, how about this?
I want to skip that one.
Okay, how about the DOJ Civil Rights Division is charged with protecting Americans from discrimination based on race, color, sex, disability, religion, and family status. President Trump trying to undercut the division's mission and proposing to eliminate 121 of its staff positions, which I think they're going to try, like they're trying to clean the government up this time.
Yeah, the government is way too big. The government is way too big. There's a lot of people who get money to push paper that really, that's not even needed. Remember, you're in deficit. So now you got to cut costs. And
he's still going to give tax cuts to the rich people and stuff.
Well, he gave tax cuts to us. That same bill, what they always tell, oh, he gave tax cuts to rich. We were included in that bill. See, they don't talk about that part. That's what I'm saying. Now you're going into you're going into a lot of propaganda.
Propaganda.
It even reads like propaganda.
What? How about the more than 90% of President Trump's nominees for federal judgeships are white, despite the fact that in 2043 there will be no clear racial minority in the United States.
That don't matter to me.
Many of who use hateful rhetoric and support voter suppression laws.
That's propaganda. Asking for an ID, turning the ballot on time. Able-bodied coming to the booth.
We got the climate change here and stuff, and criminal justice. Oh my God, Trump reversed
the First Step Act. The First Step Act, who freed a lot of black people.
Well, how about why did he reverse Obama-era executive orders that placed common sense training and supervision requirements on local law enforcement?
I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about that. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of propaganda.
It looks like a lot of stuff he did here.
And if you really haven't sifted through all the details, because there's always a reason. Like when they changed the school lunch. Oh, Donald Trump, he want the kids to be fat like him. Stuff like, little simple. There's always a reason.
Well, Michelle Obama did that and stuff, and she wanted the kids to be healthier, because there's a lot of health disparities in the black community. Yeah, but diabetes and everything, we need to be healthier.
Yeah, but even the lunch program, it was implemented bad. It wasn't the idea; it was implemented bad.
How so?
That's one of the things. They almost had me with the Trump propaganda too, but that's one of the first stories that actually turned me hard for real. I'll never forget this. I picked my daughter up from school one day. Well, I picked her up from her mom's. Start here. I had read the article. Oh, Donald Trump, they rolling back the school lunch program to Michelle Lewis. Oh, he just racist and want the kids to be fat. I read that. I ran into that article again, so I decided to ask my daughter. You know what that girl said? She laughed. She said, Dad, me and my friends were just talking about the school lunch today. It's nasty. Nobody eats it. We now bring our own lunches. And that's exactly what the Trump administration said, damn near word for word. They said it was nasty. The kids weren't eating it.
So he rolled it back to the more unhealthier lunch?
They said they was throwing it away and they were dropping out the program. And that's exactly what my daughter said in her own words.
So his solution was to roll it
and they started bringing their own lunches.
So his solution was to roll it back to the more unhealthier food?
No. What the Trump administration said, let's roll it back. Let's find some better recipes, and we can work it in to a better place instead of just crashing.
But it never happened. He's always trying to work something in or trying to, I got concepts of a plan. It never happens. Like with everything he does.
No, the point I was making is There's always a reason, and the reason may not be what the propagandist is trying to tell you. He had a legit reason for rolling back that school lunch, and what I'm telling you is a 15-year-old girl
trying to save money.
No, but what I'm saying is,
no,
listen. What I'm saying is a 15-year-old girl said the exact same thing. It's nasty, Dad. We don't eat it. We throw it away. We bring our own lunches now, and it became waste.
He never came up with healthier options, though.
Yeah. They're working on it. They should be working on it now. They should be working on it now.
It's mostly junk food, Well,
I have to ask my younger kids because even my younger kids, I would be like, as soon as I picked them up, the first thing they would say, Dad, we hungry. Didn't y'all just eat lunch? No, we didn't eat it. We just ate the apple. Because it was nasty. It wasn't that kids ain't gonna eat if they don't like it.
No, my son said it was nasty also, but
but
I mean
the point I want to make is they had legit reason for rolling it back. But if you listen to the
two things can be true at once, though. But it was also.
But if you listen to the propagandist,
he never implemented a newer plan with healthier, or
no, they were working on it.
They were working on it. They're always working on it.
He didn't get a second term.
No matter what it is, like with Obamacare, he was working on it forever, building the wall. He was always working on it. He never does anything. And like I say, even all these horrible things that he says he's going to do to, LGBT people and all that.
Well, we're gonna have to agree
on that.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Well, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on Donald Trump. John Trump, the 47th president. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. We'll see what the future brings.
I know you mentioned something about having to see a football game and stuff like that. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I was gonna try to get into religion, but that's pretty diverse.
Let's talk about religion. Let's go ahead and talk about religion then. Let's do that. Let's talk about religion then.
Because you're talking about. Let me get my paperwork here. I got let me see. Man, I got so many terms and stuff. I printed out so much stuff here. Hold on. I'm gonna have to be better prepared next time. I had a good one on religion too.
Religion.
Well, it basically said on schools. I had one on schools too. I mean, it basically had a whole bunch of stuff on systemic racism and stuff like that. But but religion, that's one way that the Black community is being divided. I think one reason that we're divided, among many things and stuff, is because of religion and stuff. And I can say, not just different religions, because I think most Black people are Christian, I believe,
for the most part,
and stuff, and everything. But it's where's my paperwork? I had a perfect thing here, but here it is, religion. The day I found that. Let me see. Some Black churches have been unwelcoming to LGBTQ Black people. The Black church has traditionally dictated the community's stance on homosexuality. The Black church still struggles with homophobia, sexism, misogyny, and patriarchy. However, some say that Black people are only marginally more homophobic than white people. A larger percentage of religious adults oppose discrimination against LGBTQ people based on beliefs. Some say religion plays a complex role in contemporary African sexualities, and some say religion's negative teaching about LGBTQ people are driving younger Americans to leave the church. That's all I got on that.
Well, I think one of the things religion, especially the Christian church in the Black community, is declining. It's been on decline for a while now. I think.
Well, you think it's because of those reasons I mentioned, or do you think it's other things?
I think one of the biggest reasons probably would be corruption. I mean, the church is a hustle. For some people, the church is
Oh,
a
no, I
hustle.
did see that guy that kept getting his jewelry robbed and stuff in New York and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He was
I think
hustling,
it was
telling
like
his
it was
congregation,
like they were
send me more money.
in on it or
Send me
something
more
like
money. A
that.
guy come get you.
And then we do have the mega churches and stuff like that too, like teaching
Yeah, I
faith
think,
and all that and stuff,
you
like
know,
preaching the prosperity gospel and stuff.
yeah, I think social media has exposed the Black church. You know. Oh, by the way, TikTok is back. They say TikTok is back.
Oh, that's good to know. I think I have
TikTok
20
is
followers
back.
over there and one here, so that'd be
Yeah, but religion is the Black church itself is immoral. You know,
immoral.
I mean, a lot of people in the church. I mean, some of the worst people.
They don't even agree with me, but I was like, I had to take a stance against that. I was like, immoral. They seem like some of the, at least they say they're some of the most moral people there is.
No, that's all I act. But at the same time, we miss genuine church because church was the foundation of the Black community.
Well, a lot like Martin Luther King and stuff organized through the church and everything. Like that.
Yeah. A lot of Black activists came out the church.
Yeah,
I mean, even Malcolm X, that's the Nation of Islam. It was faith based. And we miss genuine faith based movements out the church, and this is why a lot of the young people are wild because there's no grounding point for them. What the church used to hold the community together. The household was held together. In the households, the community made the church, and the church is what kept the community in lockstep. But now, if there's no moral compass, this is why we got a lot of the killing and just a lot of craziness that go in the hood because there is no moral compass.
Well, I mean, people in the hood though are the most like church-going people, I would imagine. Like, I mean, every Sunday
used to be,
everybody's in the,
We used to be, like I said, church is on a decline, especially attendance. Decline.
I mean, like, there's always been crime in the Black neighborhoods going way back, even with the church, though, and stuff like that. I mean, like, I don't think we need the church to be moral and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying it wasn't the church per se, or the religion that made people. It was the foundation of having a parental structure. That got their guidance from the church and brought it back home to the kids and instilled that in the kids. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Just simple respect. There was a respectability.
But I don't think people need the church to know it's wrong to kill people and stuff, and it's wrong to steal.
I'm not saying you need the church to know that. You shouldn't need the church to know that. That's not what I'm saying.
I mean, like,
what I'm saying, the church helped bring the community closer as more of a knit community.
Not the whole community and stuff. Just like I said, when you look at this here, they are excluding, LGBT parts of the community. Women couldn't pastor the church and stuff like that. They had to be the treasurer or something like that. And there's there's a sexism and the patriarchy and stuff like that.
Well, I think the patriarchy that's more of a natural selection thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's more of a natural selection thing. I mean, if you about to fight a war, who you gonna send out to the war, the men or the women? Who you gonna send out to war, the men or the women?
Well, I mean, nowadays women fight on the front line, so
women don't fight like men, though. A lot of men in the military. I don't want to sidestep, but a lot of men in the military don't like women in the military.
Another conversation on our stream and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just. But I just say it seemed like there could be another. I wouldn't say a code of ethics, but this a way.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word.
Everybody together, because I think stronger. Like this with the diversity and stuff. I think it's good that we have like
But that's the
white
word,
people,
though.
Liberal white people, LGBT people, like all of us coming together because that's what it's going to need. Because really, this is like I said, a class struggle. Really, I mean, it's pretty much the lower class versus the upper class, or like 1%, not even the upper class, because I mean this includes people that make $400,000 a year and stuff like that. It's really the super rich against the rest of us.
But if you make $400,000 a year, you are part of the 1%.
Oh, Well, under 400,000.
I figured you make like 200,000, 200,000. You part of 1%.
No, you can't.
Something like that.
No.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be invited to the table. But $100,000 and stuff like that, you still struggle. And it depends where you live. If you live in New York City or California, $100,000 isn't going to go that far.
But the people at the high table, they don't even make money. They don't even deal with money. That's for us. That's for the slave to deal with.
I know, and that's what I said. They're putting all these policies in place that are hurting us, and they have us fighting amongst ourselves and stuff like that.
But that was the purpose of the creation of the black-white dichotomy. There's no such thing as black people or white people for real. They made that up to divide the people. The elites created the black race and the white race to keep us separate because it is a class struggle. And at a time, black and white people were on the same level of understanding who the enemy was. And they used.
But now we seem to be confused, though, about who the enemy is and stuff because.
Yeah, propaganda.
Like, if we're talking about a class struggle, we look at Donald Trump. He's a billionaire, and his cabinet is mostly made up of billionaires and stuff. And he puts out all this stuff about lowering grocery prices and stuff like that. And everything just to get in there. But then when he gets in there, he's like, oh, I can't handle that. That's complicated. I can't, I don't know what to do about the grocery prices and stuff like that. So it seems like it's a time for all people to come together and stuff. And,
we'll see what he do.
Well, that's what we said in 2016. We already know what he's going to do. Look what he did in 2016.
He didn't do bad.
But now he's even stronger. He's got more people.
A lot of people bought into the bad press.
He did so many anti-LGBT laws and stuff when he first got in there with the military and dealing with stuff. And that affects, black LGBT people along with everybody else and stuff like that.
But that's not a black issue. In fact,
it is a black issue because it's intersectionality. So
that will also
because it affects black people. Because why are we trying to exclude certain black people from this? It affects everybody really, but I mean, it should be an issue that that black people should be concerned about. That's what I was talking about. We were so divided and stuff because it makes us LGBTQ black people like, why should we help with anything in the black community, movement and stuff like that. If we don't even have a seat at the table.
But like I said, when you talk about black issues has to supersede everything else.
But anti-LGBT stuff against black people affect black queer people and stuff like that. And stuff against black women.
It shouldn't be anti. It shouldn't be anti anything. When you talk about the black community, then like I said, all other things.
But all of these people are included in the black community. You got all different kind of intersectionality in the black community. You have disabled people, all different types of people and stuff. That's why I think moving forward, we were talking about the black community, but we should pride this because, like I said, we're so I don't know what it is. We're so separate right now. Is there even a black community left?
Good question.
Because I mean, because like I said, I feel like, maybe some of these other groups would have my back more than black people sometimes, like maybe my, LGBT group would have my back more on certain things
but also could that be part of the plan?
What do you mean part of the plan? Well, I mean, like we're all trying to
fractionalize us
divide all these all the way.
To fractionalize us into all these little different groups.
Well, like
to the point where blackness isn't the main thing. Like I said, if blackness is going to be the topic, then that must supersede everything else, because then you become fractioned into a whole bunch of other stuff, and a lot of people ain't going to agree. A lot of people, like I said,
but it's that whole not agreeing thing. And I mean, you don't have to agree on everything, but how do you expect to work together if we don't agree and stuff? And then it's just like same thing with like the black separatists and stuff like that. I think we'd be stronger if we were to like all work together. Like I said, I'm a leftist, so I'm saying white liberals, everybody, Spanish people, we all work as a collective to fight against this, it's just my opinion, but this evil that's going to be coming into office tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's just straight evil, really.
I mean, we already have different opinions about that because this man won a
See,
popular
and
vote.
that's the problem. Like,
So
most black people voted for, you know, they may not agree on everything. You know, like I said,
Yeah.
when I was talking about black people are against, you know, not all black people. There's a lot of good black people out there doing good things and stuff, and you know, caring for LGBT people and stuff and everything. I don't ever want to speak on like a whole group of people, you know what I mean, and stuff. Like I can't even say for like the trans community. I don't speak for the whole trans community. I don't speak for the whole black community and stuff like that, you know. But it's like, you know, like when he won on when he won in November, oh man, I was like, we're all screwed. Like it's gonna take generations to undo the crap that he's gonna put in place and stuff like that. You know, like it's all hope. Like I felt like all hope was lost, you know, because like and as a black person, I don't see how you could see that there's hope in this guy being in office. I mean, like what was it, like 97% of black women voted for Kamala, and like it was like most, you know, the majority of black men voted for
I don't
Kamala
think it was
too.
that high this time.
Well, I mean, it was still pretty high though. I mean, out of all other groups, we were the ones that voted the most for her and stuff like that.
Yeah, because black people, we have racial trauma.
Uh-huh.
That's what it boils down to. We have, because
Donald Trump is giving us racial trauma.
The Hispanics voted for Donald Trump. The whites voted for Donald Trump. The Asians voted for Donald Trump. The others, the other category, they all voted for Donald Trump. They all did.
But I mean, it's still, I mean, it was still, you know, by majority and stuff. But there was still a lot of white people that didn't vote for Donald Trump.
And more
there was
black
still a lot
people,
of Mexicans that didn't vote for Donald Trump. Hispanics that didn't vote for Donald Trump and stuff like that.
About that. And more black people in modern times, in our lifetimes, voted Republican for Donald Trump. So that right there should say something. We ain't already.
I think they were deceived, honestly, because he's a good liar. You know what I mean? And he promised a whole bunch of crap to a lot of people and stuff that he's not gonna fulfill. You know, he's not gonna come through on any of this stuff.
I mean, you gotta understand. Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, they don't carry the same racial trauma that we carry. We're easy to deceive.
The reason we carry racial trauma, though, and you know, and we still being traumatized to this day.
But what I'm saying is, we're easier to deceive because of that racial trauma. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean easier to be deceived?
Yeah, all you gotta do is say so and so is racist to us. All you gotta do is say is so and so racist, and we be like, nah, I ain't messing with them no more. We ain't got no evidence of that. You said about anybody, we be like, nah, I ain't messing with Jim no more.
You know, but it's not really just like that he's racist. Is that like we have no power to, you know, subjugate people, but he is in a position, like he has a lot of power to subjugate us. You know,
he got all the power in the world now. We got all the power in the world now. You got all the power in the world now. So we.
But yeah, I know he has all the power in the world, and you know, we're gonna see what he does. But that's what I said when he got in there in 2016. I was like, okay, let's give him a chance. Let's see what he does. He was out there wrapping himself in the LGBT flag and stuff like that, and trying to get everybody's votes and stuff. I didn't vote for him back then because I knew what he was about and stuff from previous things. But I mean, like he says this stuff, and then as soon as he gets in there, he turns on people and stuff. And now that he's in there tomorrow, did you see that picture they took of him? He was like looking menacing in that portrait of him.
Oh yeah. I think. See.
He said, I'm going to get revenge and all this stuff. I mean, it's just crazy.
I hope he do.
You hope he does?
He do.
Oh,
heck yeah, how we voted for him. I hope he do. I think this thing that's taking place in America right now is way bigger than black and white. It's way bigger than rich and poor. It's way bigger than sexual identity or gender. It's about nationalism versus globalism. You have a group of people that's really set to destroy the country. That is
they're getting ready to get in charge.
That is a goal. Yeah. You have a group of people who set to destroy the country, and Donald Trump is in their way. Because look, if Donald Trump was one of them, they would have welcomed him with open arms. George Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, the other Bush, They all say, no, we can't have him because he must not be like them.
So you're
Because
saying people are looking for an outsider, is what you're saying?
yeah, because
System,
because the status quo has failed us. We know what the status quo is. The status quo don't benefit us. Because if the status quo benefit us, then Donald Trump wouldn't be in office.
Well, you know what? I may have you on in the future, but we need to revisit this in probably I would say 6 months to a year, so we could go through and see like what happened. Maybe I'll be a little bit better at debating and stuff. But I know you got a football game to get to or to watch and stuff, and I don't know. But I think this was a good conversation overall. People with different opinions and stuff actually talking and stuff and getting out there and everything and stuff.
Right.
And that we both come from working class, or we both have a working class background and stuff. So, instead of like elites and, I want to say Roland Martin and stuff, actually having these conversations, good to have like everyday working people and stuff, having these conversations and stuff from our point of view.
Roland Martin is an elite puppet.
Yeah, why you gotta say that?
That's what he did with that 300,000. He got him come out.
Well, we got new people coming up though that are more intersectional and stuff that look out for everybody, like Conscious Lee, FD Signifier. They actually gave me inspiration to start this channel and stuff. People like that and stuff. Cornbread too. So
we need diverse voices speaking on everything and touching every topic, and people, having civil conversation to hear each other out.
Yeah, not yelling and getting all crazy and stuff like that and stuff. And so, so I think this was very beneficial and stuff. I hope people appreciate it. I hope people see this video and stuff. With that,
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, Harms.
No problem. No problem.
We'll do it again.
All right, definitely.
Yeah. Peace.